According to a report by the UN Department of Economic and Social Affairs, the global economy is expected to see a growth rate of 2.3% in 2023, which is an increase of 0.4 percentage points from the previous forecast in January. However, the report also highlights that this projected growth is still significantly lower than the average growth rate of 3.1% that was observed in the 2 decades preceding the COVID-19 pandemic. In comparison to the UN forecast, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has provided a more cautious outlook. The IMF stated earlier this year that global growth would decline to 2.9% in 2023 from 3.4% in 2022, with a slight recovery to 3.1% in 2024. The UN report acknowledges that while the economic prospects for the United States, European Union, and China have shown signs of improvement, many developing countries are facing challenges. These nations are experiencing deteriorating growth prospects due to tightening credit conditions and rising costs of external financing. The report specifically emphasizes that the least developed countries are expected to achieve a growth rate of 4.1% in 2023 and 5.2% in 2024. However, these figures fall significantly short of the 7% growth target set in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, indicating the need for additional efforts to promote sustainable economic progress in these nations. Welcome back to N.D.P News, the #1 stop for current international affairs. If you're new, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our future content. Thanks for joining us. Now let's dive into the video. Sputtering global economy. Navigating a sluggish recovery in 2023. The global economy in 2023 continues to experience a sluggish recovery, with growth rates that, while showing improvement, remain relatively low compared to previous decades or even recent years. Despite efforts to simulate economic activity and address the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, various factors have contributed to the sputtering nature of the global economy. One significant reason for the sluggishness is the ongoing geopolitical tensions between major world powers. Disputes over trade policies, tariffs, and intellectual property rights have created an atmosphere of uncertainty and hindered international cooperation. For example, the trade war between the United States and China, which began in 2018, has had significant consequences on global trade flows. The imposition of tariffs and counter-tariffs has disrupted supply chains, increased production costs, and dampened investor confidence. Furthermore, conflicts have had a notable impact on the global economy, with the war in Ukraine being a prime example. The conflict has not only caused immense human suffering and displacement, but also had broader implications for regional and global stability, including economic consequences. Ukraine is an important transit country for natural gas, and the conflict has raised concerns about the stability of energy supplies, leading to increased energy prices and potential disruptions to energy markets. The impacts of the conflict are not limited to Ukraine and its immediate neighbors. The interconnectedness of the global economy means that disruptions in one region can have far-reaching consequences. For example, Europe relies on natural gas supplies from Russia, and any disruptions in the flow of gas due to the conflict can affect energy prices and availability, impacting industries and consumers alike. Technological disruptions also play a role in the sputtering global economy. While technological advancements have the potential to drive growth and efficiency, they can also lead to job displacements and uneven distribution of wealth. Automation and artificial intelligence, for instance, have reduced the demand for certain labor-intensive jobs, leaving many individuals unemployed or underemployed. This creates economic and social challenges, as displaced workers struggle to find new employment opportunities or retrain for jobs in emerging sectors. The aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic is another significant factor contributing to the slow recovery of the global economy. Although vaccines have been developed and administered, the pandemic's impact on various sectors and supply chains continues to linger. Many businesses, especially those in travel, travel, tourism, and hospitality industries are still reeling from the effects of lockdowns and travel restrictions. The slow resumption of international travel and ongoing concerns about new variants of the virus further hamper these sectors' recovery. Additionally, the fiscal and monetary measures implemented by governments to support their economies during the pandemic have resulted in increased public debt and potential inflationary pressures. Moreover, the decline in consumer confidence due to these uncertain times has restrained consumer spending, which is a critical driver of economic growth. Individuals and households are more cautious about their discretionary spending, opting to save or pay down debt instead. This reduced consumption has a ripple effect on businesses, leading to lower revenues, reduced investments, and limited job creation. In terms of economic indicators, while there may be some growth, it is relatively low compared to previous decades or even recent years. Gross domestic product, GDP, growth rates are often used as a measure of economic performance, and these estimates in 2023 are still modest. For example, instead of experiencing robust annual growth rates of 4 to 6% seen in previous decades, many countries are witnessing growth rates around 2 to 3%. Similarly, stock market performance and corporate profits may also reflect the subdued state of the global economy, with fluctuations and lower than expected returns becoming more common. To illustrate the impact of this sputtering global economy, let's consider the automotive industry. Car manufacturers, known for their sensitivity to economic fluctuations, have been struggling to maintain sales volumes. Consumers' hesitancy to make large purchases, combined with rising costs of raw materials, has affected the profitability of automakers. As a result, companies in this industry have had to implement cost-cutting measures, including layoffs and reduced production, further amplifying the economic challenges. The real estate market also provides an example of the global economic sputtering. Housing markets in many countries have experienced sluggish growth, with a decrease in both residential and commercial property transactions. Uncertainty about the future, coupled with concerns about rising interest rates, has led potential buyers and investors to adopt a wait-and-see approach. This cautious behavior slows down the pace of construction projects and limits the overall economic activity associated with the real estate sector. What are your thoughts on today's topic so far? Leave a comment and share your opinion. Now let's dive back into it. Saudi Arabia strengthens Middle East economy. Saudi Arabian Industrial Investments Company, also known as Dassault, has acquired a stake in Italmatch Chemical, a specialty chemical additive manufacturer based in Italy. Dassault will invest SR $405 million, $108 million into Italmatch to establish specialized factories in Saudi Arabia, aiming to strengthen its presence in the Middle East and contribute to regional economic diversification and growth. The General Authority for Ports, known as Mawani, reported a significant increase in container throughput at Jeddah Islamic Port. Container handling rose by 25.07% in April, with a total of 465,438 containers compared to 372,064 in April 2022. This growth is attributed to Mawani's infrastructure enhancements and efforts to ensure reliable supply chains, supporting import, export, and maritime trade operations. The progress aligns with the objectives of the National Transport and Logistics Strategy, positioning Saudi Arabia as a global logistics hub. Transshipments at the port also saw a significant jump, increasing by 21.83% to reach 261,543 containers, compared to 214,686 in the previous year. Cargo volume handled at the port in April 2023 reached 5.21 million tons, a 19.33% increase from the 4.4 million tons in the same period last year. The port handled various types of cargo, including general cargo, solid bulk, and liquid bulk. The maritime traffic at the port also increased by 13.29%, with 324 vessels compared to 286 in April of the previous year. Mawani's efforts to enhance efficiency across Saudi ports resulted in a 13.34% year-on-year surge in container throughput for April. The number of containers passing through Saudi harbors reached 681,663 20-foot equivalent units, units. TEUs, compared to 601,429 TEUs in April 2022. Jeddah Islamic Port's development plans aim to improve operational processes and increase capacity. These improvements have contributed to the kingdom's advancement in the Logistics Performance Index, issued by the World Bank, improving its ranking by 17 places. The index evaluates factors such as logistics services, trade infrastructure, and border controls to measure the ease of establishing reliable supply chain connections. We highly appreciate your perspective on the present condition of the global economy. In your opinion, what steps do you believe are necessary for the rapid growth of the global economy in 2023? Also, please share any other factors you think are influencing the swift expansion of the global economy. Please share your valuable feedback in the comment section below. And thank you for watching.